the theme was women in leadership, and so I spent a lot of time defining what leadership means, because leadership has a different role in many different ways, and it's important that leaders have followers that believe in their vision and that will implement and move forward. So we talked about not only being a good leader, but being a good follower, and how we can help reshape the community once we connect all of our dreams together and work hard together and acknowledge the challenges that we have. Then we have a better opportunity to come better. And moms, for example, what a wonderful organization to have such tragedies in their life and be able to create a civic group from that and be a support system to each other. So I wanted to build the whole subject around that theme.
Okay. And like the different testimonies, you know, from the mothers, like, just what do you even think about that? And like, they're so active in the community, like, you know, like that mom who actually found her son's killer.
I just don't know that I could. I just don't, and that's why I told them I have so much respect for them. I admire what they do. They could just lay down and not be committed any longer to the community. They could actually want to leave the community, walk away, but instead they didn't. Not only did they stay, they created this opportunity to help other mothers through tragedies. And so it's just a wonderful opportunity when you have a personal issue that becomes more of a movement, and so that's what I see them as, a movement.
Okay. Do you see yourself maybe collaborating with some of the organizations that you saw tonight?
Oh, absolutely. I've worked with a number of organizations. I've worked with moms in the past, and I've worked with Barbara Cole and her mentoring group in the past, as well as Dr. Seiss, and so I've worked with them on a number of initiatives, and I've actually just funded a lot of what they do in the community, different grant opportunities from the state.
Okay. And can you talk a little bit about the Saturday school?
Yeah, it's the Saturday University. It's pretty awesome. So what I've done is partner with Black Star Project, Phil Jackson, and so he had this wonderful program for young black boys. And I said, Phil, I need young girls, and I need them to not be K through 3rd. We need to focus on middle school kids, 5th through 8th grade, because that's the critical component there that's missing. So when they arrive to high school, they're not prepared, they're uncomfortable, they drop out. So we've got to turn that tide around and get them prepared to graduate 8th grade and go on to high school and be successful. So I have a Saturday University that meets 10 weeks increments from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it's 3 hours every Saturday for 10 weeks. We focus on math, reading, spelling, and writing.
Okay.
It's free. Everything's free. I provide free snacks. We have retired teachers. We have professionals. We have student teachers. So we have a qualified group of teachers that are teaching our kids. And so I'm just blessed that we've had, our highest number was 94 kids in one semester, and we're able to manage that large group of children. We have a facility that has about 8 classrooms in it. We have a parent lounge, so parents can come. They don't have to drop their kids off and leave. They can stay as well. I provide snacks. We have a cafeteria. We have a library. We have a tech lab. So it's really structured around how can I best help kids improve in these specific targeted areas.
Okay. And let me see. I guess what message from your speech do you want people to, or did you want people to leave with?
That we're all leaders, that we all have a role and a responsibility to play, no matter how small or big, and no one can judge you. You should have that insight to know that when you're spiritually led, you need to have that insight to know when you need to serve your community. You need to have that insight to know that when you need to be a leader or when you be a follower. I'm a constant student. I'm always growing and learning, and I want everyone in the room to feel like until they reach their fullest potential, to keep striving to get to that point. But when they do, know how to say it's okay and tap out.
Okay. I think that's about it. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I thank you guys for being here, for covering the event. I think it's so important. You know, this organization is just wonderful. I don't do well in times of grief. I've had a personal testimony that just losing my grandfather at 9 years old and not really having that insider information explained to me. He was the only man in my life that I'd known other than my dad at that time, and he was so loving and so gentle. He just died, and to be at his funeral with no preparation or explanation, it really scarred me. And so I just don't do well, but doesn't mean that I don't have the deepest sympathy when it happens, and don't mean that I'm not trying to create more opportunities for mental health counseling, for burial expenses, for any financial situations that the state could offer, any financial services that they could provide. That's what I'm doing on the other end.